guys, it's Chrissy. Today we're going to be making oat milk, and we're going to be making it in two different ways and comparing those ways. We're going to be using a bag, a milk bag, and trying using a French press. All we need is our oats. Right now they're soaking in water. We just soak them for about 15 minutes before starting the process. We have, of course, the bag, the French press, a blender, a measuring cup to measure it, a little salt, and if you like your oat milk sweeter, you can use a date and vanilla extract for flavoring. Our first step after soaking the oats for about 15 minutes is going to be giving them a really good rinse. The first few steps for both methods is completely the same. Rinsing the oats after soaking them, and then we're going to need to blend it. I use 1 cup of oats to 3 cups of water. I've seen other recipes where people use 4 cups of water. I like it to be pretty creamy, so I do 3 to 1, but you can try it and you can always add more water to it after blending. So we've got the oats in the blender, and then I'll add 3 cups of water. I add just a pinch of salt. Maybe we're going to be using sweeteners like a date or vanilla extract. You can just add that right to the blender before blending. And then we're not going to want to blend this for very long. It'll blend very quickly. My blender is pretty strong, so I only blend it for about 20 seconds. Alright, you can already see it's nice and thick and creamy. And then we'll go ahead and do the French press first. And then begin pressing. As you can see right away, I can only get about this much oat milk through before the pressure begins to really build up in here, and I don't want to keep pushing really hard because this is a glass French press and it could possibly break, or it'll keep pushing and then some of that oats on the bottom, the thicker oats, will end up coming up on the sides too. Once I get to where I can't push easily, I'll stop, pour some of the oat milk out into a jar or container, and then I take my French press over to the sink. I slip the lid off. You can see here on the lid that there is a bit of oats built up on it. And then I'm ready to give it another go. This time I'm really getting a lot out, which is so nice. Round. It is actually looking really pretty good. There's not a lot of little bits of oats in there, just a tiny bit, so I could run this through the French press again after taking the spent oat out. Alright, let's press it for a second time. This time it should go a lot easier, a bit quicker. It's nice to get it through another time, just to make sure you don't have a bunch of little bits of oat in your oat milk. So if you remember, That was 1 cup of oats, 3 cups of water, and we got this much oat milk. Pour that blended up oat milk into the bag. And squeezing the bag gently. So with the bag, we have just a little bit more, not a substantial amount more. That doesn't really make a huge difference to me, but now we'll try them both. They taste exactly the same. They're about the same thickness. I really wouldn't be able to tell them apart. Alright, so both of those methods for making oat milk took about the same amount of time. The cleaning up afterwards is around the same amount of time too. The bag that I use, it's easy to rinse the oats off of it, and then you can wash it by hand, or you can even just toss it in the laundry machine and then dry it laying flat. So super easy. The French press is super easy to clean as well. They yielded about the same results. I can't tell the difference between the two. One thing I will say is that when you make homemade oat milk, you will find separation in it when you put it in the fridge. It'll be very obvious to you when you see it. All you have to do is just shake the oat milk up before using it and you're good to go. And another thing, this is a very zero waste project. You can use the leftover oats to make a baked good or oatmeal or something. So you can still use the oats that you use to make the milk to make something else, which is awesome. But yeah, it only takes a few minutes, super easy, pretty fun, and there you go. You've got oat milk.